That's all y'all have today? Really?
I said Chiefs.
He said Chiefs.
Wow.
He went
Anyway,
low.
it is. I think we're going to call this like the Super Bowl recap edition of the Dear America podcast.
Awesome.
So, Jake, congratulations.
Yes, congrats.
The
Thank you.
Chiefs won.
I played my best.
I did my best.
Did my best,
I'm
Coach.
glad to have contributed. It's been a good football season for you.
Man, it
You're
has.
an LSU fan as well.
For the first time ever, it's been a good football season.
Yeah, you're right. You had a really good season.
It's interesting that you have two different teams from two different
Yeah, I was
states.
thinking that too.
Because you're from Missouri,
Yep.
so you would think that Mizzou would be like your team.
That's true because
They
Kendra
are.
actually asked me last night. I'm sorry, our friend. Why is he a Chiefs fan? I was like, well, he's from. No, wait a minute. Why are you a Chiefs fan?
Well, Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, and Trump, he let me down last
The
night.
Kansas City Chiefs are not from Kansas. They're
city-
from Kansas City, Missouri.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you're originally from.
Kansas City, Missouri.
okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Trump, oh my goodness. He gets on last night, the great state of Kansas.
Hey, look, man. Look, dude. If you're not okay, all right, okay. Let's
Big
talk about the
city,
Trump tweet.
New York.
The Trump tweet. Trump tweet is hard to say.
It is.
Trump
Say
treat.
it three
Trump
times
treat,
fast.
Trump treat. Anyway, he said the state of Kansas should be really proud.
As a Missourian, that cuts to the core.
Tell people why, 'cause I don't know what we're talking about.
I'll tell you.
So, okay, all right. People that aren't Chiefs fans are not, or they're not from Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you would automatically just kind of assume that Kansas City would
Yes.
be in Kansas. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's
The
all I'm
president
saying.
should know this.
I'm
Oh,
not
he did
saying.
that.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't. Okay.
So-
what's the
Jake tell-
capital? What's the capital of the state capital of South Dakota? Exactly.
Wait, I know this. I learned
me
them all in my
too.
fifth
All right,
grade.
but that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, who knows everything?
So Kansas
Thank
City
you. I don't know
was
what-
a city in Missouri before
Okay.
Kansas was a state. It was Kansas, the Kansas Indians, and it was the
Oh.
Kansas City. And then Kansas becomes a state, and
We
they want
did-
some of Kansas City too.
We did Google the 49ers because we was like, what does that mean? Why? Do you know why?
Mm-mm.
Apparently they used to gold
Gold
mine.
rush,
And then
yeah.
the gold, they called them 49ers coming in. So that's just,
Okay.
sorry, just
Yeah.
a little
All
back.
I'm saying
Interesting.
is it was one of those normal tweet goofs, which is what Twitter does. Twitter makes it to where there's no edit button on a tweet. Like once you put it out there, you have to delete it. You can't edit it. All right. And so this is why Twitter does that. That's why Twitter doesn't have an edit
So
button.
what exactly did he say?
He
Nick,
said
or
the state
Graham?
of Missouri or the state of
Yeah.
Kansas.
Congrats to the great state of Kansas.
It's not Kansas.
It's in Missouri.
So he
Oh,
took it
no.
down within like 8 minutes. Okay, but it's the president's
CNN's
Twitter.
gonna get on him for
So
that.
Thousands of people saw it within 8 minutes.
No.
So anyway,
That's
I don't
awkward.
give a crap, dude. I mean,
I think it's funny.
I think he should have just left it. At this point, you might as well have just left it up there.
Yeah.
And just been like, yeah, I know I
That's
messed
funny.
up.
That had nothing to do with it. I was just saying Kansas is a great state.
Yeah, that's right.
It's irrelevant to
And then
it.
we'll do
Yeah.
another post right after
Yeah.
another Twitter.
Yeah, anyway, it's whatever.
Great game.
Great
awesome
game.
Well, in the last 10 minutes, it was kind of boring till then. Sorry.
Yeah, it was
The third
tightly-
quarter
But
sucked.
man,
Yeah.
Third quarter
fourth
sucked
quarter
real
was
bad.
like, ah.
Yeah.
When he threw 2 straight picks, pretty much, I was just like, oh.
And I was feeling so bad because he's so young.
So,
But he's.
It's amazing.
so
I'm on cloud
look,
nine.
All right, I'm going to walk you through. My buddy Justin texted me during the game. Okay, now hold on. I'm going to walk you through this. At 8:15, my buddy Justin texted me and said, "It's over. San Francisco is going to win this." I
did look that way.
texted back. Now, this is what I said. All right, I said Super Bowl. All right, it's Super Bowl. Mahomes shouldn't have slid. He should have gone for that first down.
I
all right?
agree.
It's the Super Bowl, man. You got to get that first down, dude. I mean, let's just be honest. And he said, "I agree. Basically, Mahomes is off his game." And I
That is true.
said, "Yeah,
He was for a while there.
okay, I didn't like the Chiefs' game plan at first. All right, they weren't doing what the Chiefs normally do. All right,
Yeah.
the Chiefs are all about trying to throw that big play, let Mahomes scramble around and create plays. Right, and I literally say, I feel like they tried to change their game plan too much for this game. Basically, they need to get back to what they're doing. The very next possession, all right, they go back to letting Mahomes do what Mahomes does. All right. He starts scrambling around. He gets that 44-yard pass completion. And then I just respond with boom back in the text messaging and
Boom.
stuff. So I never turned on the Chiefs. I never said that this game is
Thank you,
over.
Graham.
I didn't either. I
The
did
only time
have
I
a
said it
little
was
doubt.
over when what's his name broke off that 38-yard run to score again. I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
that
it's
was
done
it.
now.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
knew
Stick
it.
the nagger in and it's done. All right. So congratulations to the Chiefs.
Yay.
Yes.
But for this episode, I want to talk about what we liked about the Super Bowl and then the obvious already controversies that are surrounding the Super Bowl, which seems to be a yearly thing at this point.
Always.
Every year,
Yeah.
there are things that happen that we need to talk about. But before we break down this 2020 Super Bowl, let's get into a sponsor. All right, so speaking of things that are anti-Americans, big cell phone tech companies are anti-American. So imagine your cell phone is a voting booth. Every time you use your cell phone, you're voting for open borders. You're voting for gun confiscation. You're voting for impeachment. That call to your mama just voted for abortion.
That's
Let that sink in. That is what you were doing when you spend money with Big Mobile. So that's why we partner with Patriot Mobile, because Patriot Mobile is America's only cell phone service that donates a portion of your monthly bill to organizations fighting for the values you believe in, like the right to bear arms, the sanctity of life, religious freedom, and our veterans. I can personally say that this is true. The marketing director and the CEO of Patriot Mobile were just at the March for Life, fighting for the rights of our unborn children. Right now, switch to Patriot Mobile and get a free month when you open a new line of service. That's right. Get a free month of service for free. That's what a free month of service means. Switching to Patriot Mobile is easy. You can keep your number, bring your own phone, or buy a new one and get a reliable nationwide service. Visit patriotmobile.com/GRAHAM or call 877-367-7524. Again, that's patriotmobile.com/Graham or 877-367-7524. Patriot Mobile, mobilizing freedom with every call you make. All right, so let's get into what we liked first, all right? Because everybody already knows the things that we're going to talk about as far as what we didn't like. So let's get into the stuff that we did like. What was your favorite commercial?
The ragged old flag before the game started.
was-
Kyle Carpenter.
Kyle Carpenter?
That
My
was really
goodness.
good. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I even saw lots of people posting just that, like in their story feeds,
Yeah.
like just got me. Yeah, that was
Unbelievable.
That was good. Kyle Carpenter, I know Kyle. He's a good dude. Really soft-spoken kind of guy. Like, if you could think about, like, Dakota Meyer's Medal of Honor recipient, Dakota Meyer has no problem, like,
Yeah.
in front of people talking all the time.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
tell that being in the spotlight is not Kyle's, like, forte. And so I thought it was really cool that he got to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So that was interesting.
Amazing.
I saw Nate Boyer in there too. And Nate Boyer is the veteran that talked Kaepernick into not sitting, but to
Oh,
kneel
yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
So he was on there. It was good. The ad that got the most traction. Well, what was your favorite first,
Honestly, I
Alyssa?
feel like I was talking to Kendra or Chasing Kids, so I know I laughed at a few, but I can't remember now which ones they were. I'm sorry.
Okay, the most emotional one that the world was talking about was the Google one with the pictures.
Yeah.
Oh,
With the-
yes.
with the
Me
old-
and Kendra did see
The
that
old
one.
man.
From the
Yes.
big corporation that's stealing all your data and privacy.
Yeah, exactly.
They have
But
feelings.
the only thing, these commercials, the beer commercials, the ones that I thought were the funniest, because a lot of them were like really funny or really moving, but you had no idea what the commercial was until the very
Right,
end.
exactly.
And they throw up a beer, and I'm like, oh, that was a really emotional, sweet. Oh, that's a Budweiser commercial.
That is a that is a drinking commercial.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, whatever. But
The absolute best ad, without a doubt, was Bill Murray redoing Groundhog
Yes!
Day. That was
That
the
was
best.
good.
That was the best. It
That's
won.
good.
It won.
Yes, when
They
he was
basically
skiing with him.
recreated the whole scene of him stealing the groundhog at the end of Groundhog Day.
Did you see
It's
that
a
one?
Jeep commercial,
Oh, it
right?
was
Wasn't it
funny.
Jeep?
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was amazing. And then I was just on Fox talking about freaking Groundhog Day just the other day because Groundhog Day. It's
offensive.
But this is where you have to wonder if there's an overall conspiracy, right? Because we just had in the news last week PETA talking about how we need to get rid of Groundhog Day because we're abusing animals, and it was in the news.
they want to retire
And then there's a
him.
Super Bowl commercial with Bill
With-
Murray reprising his role
Yeah.
And not
Come
only
on.
that, he had him in
Come
like
on,
a little
man.
ski helmet.
I know,
He
but
had
that's
him in
what I'm
like little
saying.
bikes.
Like, you have to start wondering at a point. I mean, what are the odds
Yeah, that is
that the year
interesting.
we have a Super Bowl commercial ad with the cast of Groundhog Day reprising their roles for a Groundhog Day Super Bowl Jeep commercial, and then 3 or 4 days before, Groundhog Day is in the
Well,
news. all
maybe
over
that's
the place.
why maybe PETA got a wind of what they were doing in the commercial, so they had to make a statement.
But that's what I mean.
quickly.
Like it makes you just wonder what's actual outrage, what's planned
I feel
outrage.
like I
Right.
get it, like the groundhog thing, like holding him up, maybe start. I don't know, whatever. But I feel like he's like the most loved groundhog, who's probably the best kept, taken care of groundhog. I would assume.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the political side of it really quick. So everyone knew coming in that both Trump and Bloomberg were going to have political ads in the Super Bowl.
Right.
All right. It was put out that both of them paid $5+ million for the Super Bowl ads. The Super Bowl even put it out there that 30 seconds averaged about $5.6 million
Yeah.
for an ad. So Donald Trump's first ad comes out in the first quarter, and it is basically his criminal justice reform
Right.
stuff. It showed that lady, and forgive me, I don't know her name, but it's about the lady who had basically just a basic drug charge, was pretty much facing like, what was it, 25 years
Yeah, something like
in
that.
prison, something crazy. And anyway, it showed that. It was good. I mean, it was a really good ad. His second ad came
Right before.
right before they presented the Super Bowl trophy, which I thought was awesome,
Yeah.
man. Brad
Good
Parscale
timing.
and all them, they're so, because everybody's watching at that
Oh,
point,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know, to see the trophy be given out. And that was more like your standard look at, you know, all the accomplishments I've done. But what I want to talk about is Bloomberg's ad. I don't know if he had more than one. I only saw one. And it was an African-American woman. She was talking about her son and how her son was a football star and how he was going to go to college and be the next NFL star. Then he got shot and died. And the thing that was interesting to me was, of course, that's a very sad story. All right. Obviously, one death is too much, but this was obviously an anti-gun ad. And even in the ad, it says last year, 2,900 kids died due to gun violence. Okay. It's terrible. It's horrible. 2,900 deaths from gun violence for kids. 2,900. 2,900. There's 350 million people in America.
Yeah.
Okay. And honestly, the vast majority of those deaths, I don't have the breakdowns right in front of me, but I'd be willing to bet about $1,000 right now that probably 85% of those were gang-related violence.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So 2,900 people, that's probably 0.000001% of the entire population.
But let's take everybody's guns.
But let's take everybody's guns, right? I'm not negating that obviously we have a gang violence issue
Absolutely.
in certain areas, okay?
yeah.
I'm not saying that. But most of those areas are some of the most strict gun law areas
Yep.
Right.
in our country, okay? What I don't like, what they should have done, this is all about mass appeal to the audience they're trying to get. What they should have done, instead of putting 2,900, they should have said, last year, 0.000001% of kids
Yeah.
died to gun violence. Doesn't quite have the same effect.
Or
to
say
it
like
there.
thousands of kids.
Yeah, or thousands of kids. Again, that was Mike Bloomberg's ad that I saw, and I think everything just has to be viewed in context, right? And they are trying to appeal to such a microscopic amount of what's actually going on.
Right.
And it's this anti-gun thing, and that ad got approved, the anti-gun one. What were the ones that got disapproved? Wasn't there a pro-life one? Anti-abortion ad that got disapproved? It was an abortion survivors ad. So they had a bunch of
Gotcha.
people who they were attempted to be aborted. They survived it, and now they're people. Go figure, right?
Yeah.
They're adults. And so the Super Bowl disapproved that, okay? Because they thought it might be offensive. Right?
Yeah.
They thought it might be offensive to some people.
Sure.
Fast forward after the second quarter, and let's get into the Super Bowl halftime performance. Okay.
No, don't get me
So
started.
Shakira, and Jenny from the block did their halftime performances. So let's start with Shakira first. I thought that Shakira just ran circles around J-Lo's performance.
I thought she was tasteful. I mean, the very end when she was shaking her butt.
Hold on. Now, if we're really talking what the Super Bowl is supposed to be, okay? Super Bowl, there's children around. I mean, it is a family. It's supposed to be a family-oriented experience. Even though belly dancing is a real thing, and I'm not saying that it's vulgar in any way. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's a real societal thing, cultural thing.
Yeah, I've taken belly dancing classes.
Is it the most appropriate thing for a family-friendly?
I'm just saying, but no, it's not. But compared to J-Lo, she was like an angel.
We're going to get into J-Lo
I'm
in a
sorry.
minute.
I got really upset.
All right. So Shakira, hers was very culturally based. Like it was belly dancing. It was what Shakira does. You know, her hips don't lie. I mean, you know, that
is her.
I saw a meme of like Kanye like giving a death stare, and it was like wives watching their husband watch the halftime performance or something like that. Look, you know, art is art. I get it. You know, as an adult, I understand. Hey, it's a cultural thing. I thought it was tastefully done on her end. Was it family appropriate? I don't think so. You know, even the Shakira part, I think you have to, man, somebody's got to ask the question. They're like, you know, a lot of children are watching this. You know, is this the most appropriate thing to do? But then J-Lo comes out.
Tell me when I can talk. I'm just gonna sit here.
Okay, well, I'll do what I think are the I'll do what I think were the subliminal points of J-Lo's thing. So they had a very obvious border crisis statement in there with the children, and then the Puerto Rican flag and all this mess. And then J-Lo's performance to me was very feminist empowered.
For
you
sure.
know? It was a bunch. She had
stripper pole,
all male dudes, all male dudes that were the supporting cast.
Yeah,
they had to carry her around on their shoulders all the time. It was very submissive.
Well, even their outfits,
undertones
looking.
for the dudes.
That is what it was.
That is
what it was.
J-Lo had all the power.
All the leather.
Like, J-Lo was in charge. Anyway, all right, Alyssa, go for
it. Okay, so Anna Grace, I allowed her to start with Shakira. It got okay to the belly dancing, and then this is my problem, because just being honest and raw, like and real, she started trying to dance like Shakira. Yeah. And I was like, okay, now it's too much. Yeah. And I was like, and I feel like as a mom, I was like, did I fail that? And I should have known, because everybody was saying, well, you know, y'all are just hypocritical. These are the because last year, who was it? Mark Levine.
Adam Levine.
Adam Levine. Sorry, that would have been funny. That would have been fun. So Adam Levine, they're like, well, all the women were fine with him. No, I actually wasn't either, because all they do though is pump up sex, and you wonder why we have a problem in society with over sexualizing our children. This is why, because it's a cultural thing. So no, I'm not hypocritical. It does, but like there are children. If this was an adult only. Okay, whatever. I wouldn't be going off. But my babies are in here, and I'm not alone, because I got tons of people who wrote me on after I did my story saying we had to send our kids out, or we were at church and like, oh, this is really awkward. Like we need to, what do we do? Like, we'll turn it off as this easy thing. But yes, okay. So J-Lo, all those crotch shots.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's that. Let's remove the kids from the conversation just for a second, even from an adult perspective. What was with all the vagina grabbing?
I don't know.
I mean, that's what it was. It was, like I said, this was a very feminist empowered thing. All right. A lot of dudes, Michael Jackson made it famous. A lot of guys grab their crotch when they're performing and they sing. It had a very like nod to that. Like they could do it too, even though they have a vagina instead of, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. It was weird.
There was even that one now meme famous shot where J-Lo like skids. And she's like, literally like, I'm trying to do it while we're sitting there. And she's like, got her hand straight on her crotch. Hang on a second.
Yeah. Did you see, who was it that posted, Grant posted?
That's what I'm doing right now.
No, he said, well, you want me to tell her? I know it. You want me to say it?
Well, yeah, go
ahead. Oh, okay. He said where the coronavirus actually came from. It is horrible, but I mean.
There it is. Look. Yeah, how the coronavirus is really spread. There she is. Like,
but why? Like,
I mean, but like, and we need to pop this up on the screen. If you don't know what it is, go to the Typical Liberals page,
what else could that mean?
You know,
it's
and it's not just us. Other people were like, I felt like I was watching a pornography. Like it wasn't even appropriate. I feel like for adults or for my eyes, his eyes. Like, what are we doing? add all the leather. Like, it was not even trying to hide anything.
Yeah,
Right.
It was
And
a
so,
lot.
It just
again,
ties into the over-sexualizing
well,
of
and then
our
and
culture.
then the same people though who fight against sexual assault or rape
Right,
or
the
anything.
Me Too movement,
But I'm
you know?
like, come on, like you have to see this. Do you not?
Right.
Oh, it's just funny. And then her daughter, that was kind of sweet when her daughter and her like did that. But at the same time, like, yeah.
If you're using your daughter for a political statement.
Or
Yeah.
even just she's what like, yeah. Like,
No, art is art. I get it. But even as adults, even if you're the most artistic person ever, I think there just comes a thing where you have to say, okay, even though I'm trying to express myself artistically or even like as a culture of women, even if you believe this feminist garbage that is running rampant, is it really appropriate for children
No.
to watch that kind of stuff?
And it's not just that. What else frustrated me? I love, like, they're both amazing singers. They're both gorgeous women. Like, you could have gone out there.
Shakira ran circles around
She
J-Lo,
did, but I'm
man.
saying you
She
could
ran circles.
when Shakira did that dance, like with all her group, and it was actually tastefully done.
Yeah.
It
where
was
she
a dance.
She was actually dancing.
Yeah.
Well, J-Lo could do that too. What irritates me is like you have it made. Like y'all are awesome. Like you've made it. You're
Thank
top
you.
of the. You
Oh,
did not have to
Shakira.
do
Thanks.
something. Like you didn't have to do something that
Right.
is so
Shakira,
provocative.
Right.
That's what's irritating. You could have
Yeah.
done just as good without being provocative.
Yeah, I agree.
You really
bang,
could've.
bang, bang,
I agree.
Bang, bang, dig-a-doom. All right.
Maybe
So
not.
we've got a lot more to talk about here, but
Yeah.
before we do, we have to get into another sponsor. All right, so there's a lot of holster brands to choose from. Some are good, some not so good, but We the People holsters are the brand I trust. We the People has been with us since the beginning,
Yep.
but a lot of other companies let us go because they're too much of a coward to support what we support. We the People has stood by us. So you should support companies that support us. Starting at just $37, We the People holsters are custom made right here in America. Their designs are made in-house. They even have their own 3D design team who measures every micromillimeter of their guns to ensure the perfect fit. Go to wethepeopleholsters.com/Graham. That's GRAHAM and get yours today. Every holster ships free and comes with a lifetime guarantee. Enter the offer code GRAHAM and receive an additional $10 off your order. Defend the Constitution and support a great American business. Satisfaction guaranteed. That's wethepeopleholsters.com/Graham. Offer code Graham. All right, so now let's get to what I'm probably being bashed on the internet right now for because I've already
sure.
dropped a video about it. And people tear me up about this because the country is like truly divided on this. We've been divided on this for 4 years, man.
Yeah.
About the anthem and standing or sitting or kneeling, blah, blah, blah. So it's already starting to make its rounds that Jay-Z and Beyonce and their daughter,
And other
Blue
people
Ivy,
in the room.
isn't that her name?
No, it's just it's Ivy.
I think it's Blue Ivy.
Something weird.
It's a celebrity couple's kids. It's probably Blue Ivy. I feel like I'm right. All right. Anyway, a video of them sitting for the anthem. Okay. So now, to be completely transparent and fair, there are a lot of people that were sitting for the anthem. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there just were. Any event you go to, there are people that are just horrible, non-patriotic Americans. I mean, there just are. I even have a problem with people keeping their hat on.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. And I realize being from the South, there's a lot of rednecks that do it. I get it. That There's a lot of rednecks that keep their hats on, and it drives me nuts. If physically assaulting people wasn't wrong, I would slap the hat right off of their head all the time. But I don't because it's illegal. Anyway,
And can we give a nod really quick to Demi Lovato? I thought she did an amazing
she
job.
did a great job.
And
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yolanda Adams, I've always liked her. She
Yep.
did an amazing job. Like I liked them more than the halftime show.
I really appreciate people that understand that they get the privilege of singing the national anthem.
right.
Yeah.
It's a
That
big
is
deal.
not your opportunity to try to create some new hit single remake of the national.
Just
and
sing
the
the
national
song.
She
anthem
did it
is
well.
not for you to remake. It is
Right.
the national anthem. You go out there, you sing it as
Jamie
written.
Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, Fergie, dear
Fergie.
God, Fergie has
Well,
probably
she
one
just-
of the worst ever renditions outside of Rosie or
Jamie's is pretty bad, man.
Roseanne. Outside of Roseanne, I was about to say Rosie O'Donnell.
Did it.
Outside of Roseanne when she sang it. But anyway, she was very reverent. She sang it very well. Good for her. She's coming off of. She almost died, right? OD'd.
I don't know.
That sounds familiar.
Year or so ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
A
she's been not in the spotlight for a long time. She had to go to rehab and all this other kind of stuff.
Her song on the Grammys was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
too.
She
good
did a
for
good
her.
job.
She's starting to come back out again, and so hey, I applaud anyone who takes their failures, takes their falling downs, and they get back up. Good for her.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the point. A lot of people are saying things like, "Oh, Graham, it's their right to do that if they want to." You're right. I'm not arguing that. I've argued that point millions of times already with Colin Kaepernick. Just because you have the right to do something doesn't make it the right thing to do.
Just ungrateful.
Here is what I want to talk about, because here is the argument a lot of people are doing to come to the defense of Jay-Z and Beyonce. Graham, I don't think they were protesting. I think they honestly just didn't think about it.
I actually heard that
When
several
everyone
times
else-
too. Like they were just talking or just didn't even think, which is even
they were
worse
just
to
talking.
me.
They were just enjoying their time with their family and being at the Super Bowl, and they just didn't think about it. That's worse, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Serious question. # Dear America. Which one's worse? Knowing what you're doing is disrespectful. Okay. And choosing to do it anyway, Colin Kaepernick. And it's proven that you didn't even really care about what you were doing in the first place, because the dude trademarked his face. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
Or is it worse that you were so selfishly entitled and just, I don't know, ignorant that you just don't even think about standing for the anthem of the country in which you are one of the most privileged citizens,
The richest rapper
in
of all
the
time.
country. Which one's worse?
Who brought yourself up? I mean,
Thanks
their
to
story,
America.
Yeah, I mean, their story in and of itself, you would think, look at
One-
what the country's done for you.
One went for attention. Colin Kaepernick did it for attention.
Sure.
I think what we saw last night, the reason why I think it's a big deal is because it shows a cultural issue that we have within our society right now, where people just are so indifferent to how blessed they are to live in America that they just don't even think about it.
That's why I like that the Kyle Carpenter
The flag
commercial.
commercial.
That says the whole thing. It's like we should be grateful, and the flag stands for
so good.
all the things that make us great, and so does the national anthem.
And
those
I just
things
feel
are
like everyone knows. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
no, that's all.
I just feel like everyone knows like that will happen, and it's gonna be an amazing singer, and we're gonna do the flyover, and like that's my favorite part. I like swell with pride.
It's 2 minutes, man.
And
it's 2 minutes of your life.
And it's not like this is not. Oh, I didn't know. Like no,
you
this
don't
is
have
exactly what happened.
You don't have 2 minutes
Right.
to give reverence for the country in which you live. Oh,
The
Graham,
people who died.
What's real? Somebody commented this already. Graham, you're such a hypocrite. What's real freedom? Blind allegiance? Is that freedom? Or is freedom being able to choose whether or not you want to support a country?
Yeah.
Okay, here's,
That's
may
not
I,
blind
to me,
allegiance.
though, it's not a political statement. It is a reverence of I'm just going to be grateful in this moment, and we're going to come together as Americans. That, to me, is what it is. It doesn't have to be this political statement. I'm thankful for the men and women who have served our country.
And who
I'm also
died.
thankful and grateful that we are in a free country. Like, why does that have to be this political thing?
And I've heard the blind allegiance a lot, and it's funny that they think conservatives have blind allegiance because we're the ones that want guns to protect ourselves from tyranny, governmental tyranny.
But the national anthem...
That's not blind allegiance.
Yeah, but again, they're confusing blind allegiance to a country of which they think is doing injustices, right? That's their argument, right? The national anthem is not that. The national anthem is a reverence to the idea of America, right? That against all odds, the flag is
Same with
still
the flag.
standing there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like against all odds, no matter what, the idea of America is perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There will never be a perfect system. We will never have it all figured out. Everybody understands that. But the idea of America was perfect. That is what the anthem represents. And that is not blind allegiance. I think you can have blind allegiance to that. You can have allegiance to an idea that we are chasing perfection, right? There's nothing wrong with chasing perfection. You're never going to get it, but you're going to chase it as a people together. That's what I have a problem with. Another argument that I get all the time is the same people saying this are the people that are sitting on the couch at home while the anthem's going on at the Super Bowl. That has got to be the dumbest, just most redneck, illiterate, just ignorant, stupid argument I've ever heard in my life. First of all, the rules for the anthem are written. Like there's actual rules of what you're supposed to do for the national anthem. It's written down, the flag codes and the anthem code, all that stuff. It is specifically designed for people that are in the proximity
correct
of where it actually is going on, right? We talk about this stuff all the time. When people wrote the flag codes and everything, did they really intend for mass broadcast?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And stuff. Anyway, the point is, that's ridiculous. Well, Graham, why is it ridiculous? Okay. Why didn't you buy a wedding gift for the wedding that you watched on TV? You were there.
Right.
You watched it. You were a part of the wedding. Why didn't you get a wedding present? You watched so-and-so's baby be born on reality TV. Where are you sending your baby gift to, you hypocrite?
Right.
It's ignorance. That is the dumbest argument ever. You are thousands of miles away, and we do stand up, by the way. We were standing yesterday when it went on. But to compute that to being as the same thing of you actually being in the presence of where the anthem is actually being sung live.
Yeah.
With the flag right
ridiculous.
there. I mean, that is. There's. But that's
silly. Ridiculous. I would also venture to say that it's very likely that in the grand space of time, all the athletic events, all the everything, that probably the anthem is sung more than one spot in America at the same time.
Yeah.
With different games going on and everything like this. You have all these games. Which one are you supposed to stand for?
Yeah.
We're supposed to stand all the time?
Just stand all the
day,
time.
every day, because somebody somewhere might be singing the anthem?
You won't catch me.
Morons. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like how dumb is that argument? And but here's the problem. People jump to defend their right to be able to be just pompous. I can't say.
No, you can't.
Pompous jerks, right? But nobody tries to jump to the fact of course they have that right. 1.3 million veterans died to give them that right.
Yeah.
But from a moral standpoint, shouldn't that be a reason why you don't do it?
Right.
Everybody is so quick to defend a right, but nobody is quick to defend morality anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what I don't understand. No one is negating that, the First Amendment actually protects your right to say racist things. You can say racist things to people under the First Amendment. You just can't say because they're black, you should go kill them. You can't say that kind of stuff.
Right.
But you can say, I don't know, I hate black people. You can say that.
They're going to pull that clip.
They're going to pull that clip.
You're in trouble now.
But that is protected. Doesn't make it the right thing to say.
Right. We're not looking for criminal charges over this. We're just saying it's terrible.
Morally right.
But again, it goes back to
a morally right thing to do.
But if you take it back, it goes back to just the culture of our society. We are ungrateful. We are entitled. And this is, you know what? I can, but why? I mean,
and what a thing to teach their kid too.
Well, yeah, and that's the next point is, their child is sitting right next to them because children mirror the images of what you present to them.
Wondering why everyone's standing up, but my family.
But put it in full perspective here. If any people should be thankful for America, it should be Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay-Z, full spectrum here. Jay-Z was a crack dealer. Okay,
that's he pulled himself
Jay-Z's past. Well,
you know what I mean.
The richest rapper.
Let's not get into how morally sound Jay-Z is. Let's just get into his businesses. He went from being a crack dealer, slinging crack on the corner, to having a net worth of over $1 billion
with a B.
Beyonce used to sing songs called Bootylicious. And she has a net worth of over $400 million. Put them both together.
That's a lot
Doesn't
of
this
money.
country suck?
That's a $1.4 billion. Okay. How about a thanks, America? How about a yay, capitalism?
But honestly, they probably think it's just that, well, I did that. So But I'm not negating they didn't work hard for it. But,
only in America.
But again, it's that entitled, like, because you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that anywhere
else. Go to the
else.
Middle East, Beyonce, and sing and dance like you do.
Yeah, go sell crack in Iraq. And then show me where I didn't even mean to rhyme right there. Sell crack in Iraq, and then 15, 20 years later, have $1 billion net worth.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Okay? And then we want to talk about morality of things and all this other kind of stuff. Jay-Z, you should be in jail. You know what I mean? Like that's the truth. That's what you should be. That's where you should be in life. But because of grace, because of opportunity, because of people believing in other people and the American dream and things like that, you had the opportunity to turn away from a path where day one you should have not had any chance to succeed ever. You were slinging crack on the side of the street, bro. I mean, that's what you were doing. Stephen Furtick said this best in a sermon. He said, it's really easy for us to look at people that are in jail for things like drunk driving and all this other kind of stuff. And then we are pompous enough to say, well, we never did that. Right. You know what I mean? No. Most of us just didn't get caught on the one thing that we tried to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I have always been pro. Hey, man, all of us have a past. All of us come from somewhere. Good for you for turning around. I'm not talking bad about Jay-Z from what he did, okay? I understand. As far as I know, he's not a crack dealer anymore. I don't know that for 100% fact, but I would doubt that he actively is slinging crack, okay? Whether he does crack or not, I don't know.
Okay, you're digressing.
I'm just saying.
But
the point is, he was a crack dealer. Now he is a billionaire.
Yeah.
Only in America,
and thanks to Trump for the criminal justice reform.
Yeah, and those tax cuts, man.
Yeah, to get people out.
For people that get upset about Trump's tax cuts only affecting or only benefiting the rich, you're welcome, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Get off your butt and stand for the anthem. Candace Owens told us that the reason that Jay-Z and Beyonce hate Trump, it's over business. It's over some kind of business deal that they
before he was president
that they disagree on. So they don't even hate Trump because of his policies. They hate him over business
reason.
Because they're business people, because they're billionaires,
but
because they live in America, you former crack dealer.
But even so, again, you're getting into the weeds of it, whether you're like president. It's America. There'll be a new president. Like, you should just be thankful you're in America.
Right. Yeah.
Presidents come, presidents go. Like,
but what that's
still a great country.
What that is leading to is now they have a child who the child was born into immense wealth and immense possibility and benefits and privileges because your parents are billionaires.
Yeah.
One of the most world-renowned figures in the world, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Only white people have privilege, Graham.
Yeah, only white people have privilege.
Come on.
I don't have $1 billion. I'm just being for real. I'm
white
as they come. And
$1
I'm telling you right now, if me and Jay-Z wanted to switch places, I guarantee you he wouldn't switch places with me.
Yeah.
And I'm white as they come. I'm just being for real. Don't tell me white privilege exists. No, it don't. Anyway, what's going to happen to this child? Is this child going to be appreciative for anything?
But that can be whether, no matter your socioeconomic status. I mean, the same is true. That's the culture we're in, is my point.
We're talking about, it's the same thing with the Kobe Bryant argument. When people got all bent out of shape, everybody's talking about Kobe Bryant's death and why not the normal people's death. We're talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce because they are worldwide focal points of attention for people in the world.
That people are looking to,
yes.
Mimicking.
They are public figures. So naturally, what public figures do have a greater impact on our society because they're public figures. The public is paying attention to them.
I mean, imagine.
So that's why we're talking about it.
Imagine if in the middle of the Super Bowl, they just said, hey, somebody in the crowd, their mom died last night, and they put a picture up, and everybody's like, I don't know who that is. Yeah. Some random person's mom. Sorry.
Yeah. Technically, everybody's mom dies.
Yeah.
Technically.
But we don't know those people.
And I'm not trying to make a joke of it, okay? But technically, everybody's parents die. Technically, everybody dies. You see what I'm saying?
But you're not getting your picture up on the big screen.
We talk about these things because it's a moment for us to try to shift focus back in the right direction.
Correct.
And we use the gigantic public figures of people because when you choose to be a public figure, you choose to be scrutinized and used as an example more than normal people. Okay, that's why that's why on Facebook you can choose private or public. The second you choose public, you're wide open for anything.
Yeah.
Okay. We use this as an example of if the most elite of us operate this way, the people that aren't having to float a car payment to be able to survive, to be able to feed their kids, but those people stand for the anthem. See what I'm saying? The people that their credit is in the tank, or they just got their house repossessed because they couldn't pay their bills, they stand for the anthem. But people that used to be crack dealers and now are two of the most famous people in the world and have a net worth of over $1.4 billion that will never have to worry how they're going to pay for things for the rest of their life. You can't stand for the anthem? Not because you're protesting, because...
Well, we don't know that.
Well, yeah. I mean, they could come out later and say, well, we did it for protest. I don't think that's the case. I think they're just so pompous.
Or in their own world.
They just didn't think about it.
Yeah.
No, they knew what was going on. In the video clip, Beyonce is like swaying to the national anthem with Demi Lovato singing. She's paying attention.
Oh.
Like she knows what's happening. Jay-Z kind of looked like he was out in La La Land, but Beyonce knew.
Yeah.
Again, it's their right. Hey, they can do whatever they want to do. I'm not taking that away. I'm just saying, is it the right thing to do? I don't see how you can argue that it is.
You have a responsibility. I mean, people look up to them, people emulate them, try and be more like them. So if that's how you want to be portrayed, you know.
But that's what's scary to me is because so many, especially now that it's gone viral and everything, so many young people are going to look to that and interpret it how they want.
Oh, why aren't they standing? Maybe I shouldn't either.
Yeah. That they're not doing it. Then, they're right. Like America does suck. I mean, you know what I mean?
They influence the culture.
Yes, absolutely.
And when that's a negative way to influence the culture.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Again, I don't get it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Did you see the Trump interview with Hannity before the game?
No.
I saw clips of it.
I saw clips of it.
It was pretty good.
I saw him call Bernie Sanders a communist.
Yes. He was basically saying, I'm going to name some people and you give one word that comes to your mind whenever I say it. And I think we should do that real quick.
With who?
With Graham.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to say a name and you just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Nancy Pelosi.
Drunk.
That's what I said. That's the first thing I said.
Raging alcoholic.
Wait, I want to turn
Bernie.
Alyssa. No, I want to do him.
Oh,
Alyssa.
The greatest
person
thing ever.
I feel like he stuttered, but okay, fine. I'll take it. Okay.
Elizabeth Warren.
Indian.
A drunk. Drinks beer and thinks she's an Indian.
Grab me a beer.
I said Indian.
Bernie Sanders.
Communist.
Yep, Trump said that. Last one. Beto.
Beta.
Nice.
Beta male.
I can't say what I thought.
It's a fun game.
AOC, airhead, big booze,
bartender. That's a good one for AOC.
Anyway, all right.
Can I just give Trump really quick a shout out? Our good friend Yaku Buins was there. He did. Ivanka Trump held that against child sex trafficking. Trump signed into an order of we're going to fight this, and I don't care if you're a Republican or not. I think it's amazing. Also, just so you know, those who support the Polaris Project, they boycotted due to reasons you can research for yourself because we don't have time to get into it. They should have been there, so they could have brought it to the table. I felt like if you have a problem, that was the perfect time to go because we should come together on fighting this.
Yeah.
But I did want to give him a shout out because he's the first president in a long time who is saying, yeah, this is a problem and we need to fight it. And I think that's amazing.
Trump's doing a lot of things right. And, you know, people take advantage of how awesome the president is actually doing. So real quick, to Wednesday's episode is going to be a big episode.
Yeah.
If all things go according to plan, it should be acquittal and State of the Union address review. So the president is giving the State of the Union address tomorrow, and then Wednesday is supposed to be the acquittal vote in the Senate for this whole impeachment sham. So it's going to be a huge, see what I did there? Huge episode. Yeah, he is better. Wednesday. So make sure you tune in. Share with one friend the Dear America podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Our country is doing better than it's done in a very long time. But one thing that we're still failing on is this respect for our country. And I think that it's our responsibility to point that out on a daily basis if need be.
Yep.
Wednesday is going to be a huge episode. I think the Trump 2020 landslide started last week when they blocked the witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Showing that it pretty much was the dagger in the heart of this whole impeachment sham. The State of the Union address, I'm super excited to see what Trump does with that. And then, Wednesday should start. I mean, honestly, I think that kind of officially starts campaign time at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as always, we want to pay extreme attention. Beto O'Rourke just posted another thing that was anti-Second Amendment, and we need to pay attention to what's going on in Virginia. Our friends at Red Arrow Weapons, of course, are fighting that battle on the front end. Make sure you're paying attention to what's going on in the attack against our rights. Support the companies that support us. Check out Red Arrow Weapons, and make sure that you always remember to never give up our freedoms. The impeachment's over with. We are getting dangerously close to a Democratic nominee. Then the presidential debates will start, and then that's when things are going to get really crazy. That's all we have for this episode of Dear America. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Football season is officially over. But the XFL starts Saturday, so we'll see what that clown show is about. Yeah. And then in April, we have baseball back. So God bless America. Alyssa, where can they find you?
Alyssa Allen on Instagram.
Jake?
Producer_Jake on Instagram.
And I am Graham Allen. You know that because you're watching my show. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Dear Lord. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Dear America podcast. And we'll see you all again next time.
Bye.
Yeah.